We're driving Route 66 in Illinois, an iconic all-American road trip. In this podcast, we're starting just about an hour and 40 minutes from Chicago in Pontiac, Illinois. This podcast is part of a 2-episode series, so if you're starting this one, you're on part 2, and you may want to go back and listen to part 1, because we're driving Route 66 from Chicago to St. Louis, and we're not even halfway through our trip. There's a lot to cover. It's the Travels with Darley podcast, where I take you on the road with locals as the guides to reveal hidden gems and top travel finds you might want to experience on your next vacation. I'm Darley Newman, and I host and produce the long-running PBS and streaming series, Travels with Darley. I'm also the author of the Revolutionary Road Trip book, and I can't wait to share my first-hand insights from the Mother Road with you. Let's go! Pontiac is well worth a stop along your Route 66 travel itinerary because there are amazing murals throughout the downtown. Pontiac is a popular stop for car and motorcycle club enthusiasts, and if you love public art, this is a great place to visit. There are more than 20 murals throughout the city depicting the history of Route 66. One of the key artists immortalized in these murals is Bob Waldmeyer, and he's just one of the people and places you can learn about when you visit the Route 66 Hall of Fame Museum right here in Pontiac. When I was there, I met with Rose Geralds, a volunteer docent.
Which I'm most familiar with.
So you grew up here in Pontiac?
I have grown up here.
And been here for how long at the museum?
15 years. It's the best job I've ever had.
Why do you think people travel Route 66 today?
The memories, just to see what is still there.
So it's the then and the now. It's the changes along the the road.
Yeah.
The Mother Road.
Yep, that's what it is.
It's people like Rose, who you can meet at these stops I'm sharing, that really do make you feel better about being on the planet. They care so much for their communities and the history. Just about 40 minutes further in Normal, Illinois, I recommend another stop at Sprague's Super Service Station, whose original owner was way ahead of his time. Terry Ryburn is the modern champion who helped preserve this old service station and the Route 66 history.
It was built in 1930 by a local contractor named William W. Sprague. What he wanted was a 2-story Tudor Revival style gas station, and he built that. That was very unusual in 1930 to have an attached cafe with your garage and your gas station. So he figured out what people needed and he supplied it.
How long have you had Sprague's Super Service?
I bought this in 2006 when it was just about ready for the wrecking ball. Frankly, only a crazy person would have bought it in that condition. But I couldn't let it go down. I knew it could come back. So it's preserved, and all I ever really wanted was to preserve this building.
Well, it looks beautiful, and congratulations for getting it listed on the National Register, because that's not a small feat.
We do it for the love. We sure don't do it for the money.
Yeah, well, that's what we're all doing. Drive another hour and you can take some time to stop in Springfield, where you can have a cozy dog. A what? This is one of the stops I was most looking forward to on Route 66 because I do love hot dogs. And I haven't had a corn dog since I was a child. And these are not corn dogs, they're cozy dogs. Josh Waldmeyer, a relative of Route 66 artist Bob Waldmeyer, who we learned about in Pontiac, carries on the family business. What makes a cozy dog distinctive?
A lot of people say that corn dogs are kind of bland. Ours have a little, I wouldn't say a spicy kick, but they have noticeable flavors that jump out to them. We do have our own recipe with our own blend of spices, which aren't like anything else out there. And they're also handmade. They're not frozen, they're not processed. We hand dip them, we hand stick the dogs, and they're made when you come in to order.
Ooh, this is much more savory than a traditional corn dog, which I find to be sometimes sweet. I can taste like the crunch of the outside mixed with a little cumin, a little chili pepper, and the dog is good. Let's go cozy dog. Abraham Lincoln spent over 20 years in Springfield, Illinois, and today you can visit a national park site that has preserved the home where Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln raised their family at the Lincoln Home National Historic Site. For lovers of history and parks, it's super interesting. If you're looking for bright lights at night along Route 66, I've got an option that's family-friendly and nearby.
I do love a good neon sign, and if you love to learn about the past and the present and what's on Route 66 today, what was there in yesteryear, this is the Route 66 experience at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, and it literally walks you through from Chicago all the way to the end in Illinois.
Another spot where you can combine Route 66 memorabilia with local beer, sports, and very large pretzels is with Ron Metzger at Motorheads in Springfield.
Ron, I'm looking around and I'm wondering, where did you get all this stuff?
It's really started small, and next thing you know, you get carried away. I got the original sign from Abe Lincoln Motel we took down in 1996, and I've saved it since 1996. So I got it hanging out there. So honestly, it's my prized possession.
And you have outside, it's the largest Route 66 shield.
But yeah, 6.5 stories tall.
You are known for motorsports.
Every family has a Motorhead in it. Uncle, grandpa, brother, sister, somebody in that family to Motorhead.
Well, cheers to being a Motorhead here in Springfield.
You gotta be a Motorhead if you're in Springfield.
I hear the rumble of Harleys and head outside to see what's happening.
Ron, it's Friday night. The bikes are pouring in because it's
Bike night.
Okay.
It's bike night at Motorheads.
and people are coming to eat, they're coming to socialize, they're showing off their bikes, right? Well, you have really fostered a community here on Route 66.
There's a pretty neat portion of old Route 66 called the Auburn Brick Road that's another 30 minutes away in Auburn, Illinois.
We are now driving on a section of the old brick road. This was hand-laid, dates back to 1931, and it's listed on the National Register. It's just really beautiful as you ride further south down from Chicago on old Route 66. You go through all of this rural area, these farmlands, small towns, small cities, great places to meet people who really want to share about Route 66 and its history.
20 more minutes away in Girard, you can continue on to a classic soda fountain. Casey Claypool helped save docks just off 66, which dates back to 1884, and was then Deck's drugstore.
We really kind of took all of the pharmacy stuff that we had here, put it on display, made it a destination where people can come and see things that you can no longer see.
Well, it's hard to decide what to get here, but that flight of ice cream might be calling my name.
This is what people come in for. So we have gooey butter cake, Oreo cheesecake, blackberry cobbler, cherry chocolate chunk, apple pie, and strawberry cheesecake. Right? Very fresh, high quality, real blackberries.
I was gonna say it tastes like it's farm fresh.
Yes, it is.
By keeping this open and restoring it, I feel like you're almost doing a public service.
When we bought the place, our hope was to help revive a business that had, been struggling and a town that had been struggling. We have plans to expand the downtown here and do more, so we look forward to those days.
Still curing people in here.
Still curing people after 150 some years.
Just 30 minutes south of docks in Litchfield, William Law took over Ariston Cafe and kept the same menu and nostalgic vibe at this landmark restaurant, dating back to 1924.
Will, this is the oldest operating restaurant here along Route 66? On the whole Route 66?
The whole route from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. We entertain just thousands of Europeans who love the white tablecloth, the Americana vibe. Prime rib is probably our #1 thing. We slow cook the prime rib, so it takes about 7-8 hours overnight.
Wow, super tender, it melts.
There you go.
20 minutes down the road, the Pink Elephant is an antiques mall where you can spend your time wandering through very creative collections and meeting passionate collectors.
This is a cool.
It's just called a morphed bangle. Most of my jewelry is 30s through maybe the early 80s. I think I have a pretty good collection here.
You have a good collection, I
So,
know.
yeah.
You wouldn't find this in a big box store.
No, you wouldn't.
So many things in here are like Route 66. They're things that you can't find everywhere that
Right.
are historic, they're retro. It's fun to see these things that you don't find in everyday stores.
That's right.
Outside, make sure to seek out the ice cream.
Oh, yes. The crunch of the walnuts, the sweetness of the caramel and the hot fudge. Delicious and delightful.
So many stops along Illinois' Route 66 are in close proximity, making driving and stopping along the way easy and fun. In Collinsville, Illinois, I find a roadside attraction and the family who helped save it. Mike Gassman takes an evening stroll to talk about the world's largest ketchup bottle.
How big is the world's largest ketchup bottle?
The world's largest ketchup bottle is 170 feet tall. That's a 70-foot bottle on top of 100-foot legs.
There's some long legs.
They are long legs, and they're the best-looking legs in town as far as I'm concerned.
How did you decide to save this roadside attraction?
Well, in the 90s, there was talk of having it torn down. We formed a committee and raised a whole bunch of money and saved it and restored it to its beautiful 1949 glory.
You are Mr. Ketchup here in Collinsville.
I am Mr. Ketchup here in Collinsville, but most people call me the Big Tomato, and I love it. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch up with you later.
Oh no!
Mike is truly bringing out the cheese, or rather ketchup. We're getting closer to St. Louis now, and there are a few more great stops on the way, including West End Service Station in Edwardsville, and Cahokia Mounds State Historic Site, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which was the largest prehistoric Indian community north of Mexico. If you climb the stairs to the top of the mounds here, on a clear day, you can see all the way to St. Louis, including the St. Louis Arch.
And these mounds are huge. This mound is covering 14 acres, rising around 100 feet high, 22 million cubic feet of earth in this mound. This is pretty amazing. You can see all the way to St. Louis, including the St. Louis Arch.
On my last leg of this Route 66 adventure, I'm taking the time to walk over one of the more interesting bridges in America, at the Chain of Rocks Bridge.
This is a really cool bridge. It reminds me of a bridge that would be used in movie scenes. And it's just so interesting to think that from 1936 to 65, this was old Route 66. This was Route 66, and motorists would be passing over here. It's a beautiful place to explore that history on old Route 66.
I've definitely gotten my kicks on this road trip adventure and truly met passionate locals, fostering community and preservation through their commitment to history and the Mother Road, plus delicious food and memorable small businesses along the road. Thanks for traveling the Mother Road with me in Illinois. You can learn more about Route 66 by watching my PBS Travels with Darley episode on Route 66. It's on YouTube and your local PBS TV station. And you can go to the Enjoy Illinois website to find trip itineraries. And my website, darley-newman.com, for trip advice too. I'm Darley Newman, and I always enjoy traveling with the locals to find hidden gems to share with you. Thanks for listening.